Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
My cannabis while I sit
Oh,
down
yeah,
on my porch.
I'm just finishing this up because I don't want to be coughing throughout the interview.
Yeah.
But this is the second episode of the Circlecast, and my guest today is none other than black metal legend themselves, Mork Verden Jr., also known as Mictain, aka La Mort. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. I am who you say I am. I am Ego. You know. You know.
We know. Very infamous name in the scene.
For sure. Infamous is definitely one way to put it.
What does the name Mictain mean?
It really doesn't mean anything other than death. It's a bastardization of a deity that doesn't actually exist. It means death. Came up with it when I was a kid. That's why I'm trying to, change my image, I guess you could say. I don't like being known as Mictain. It's more of a character, that I created to separate my actual identity from the evil of black metal, separate myself from it while also, playing the character when I'm A, on stage, or B, in the studio. La Mort is kind of the same thing, but it's more of a feminine, side of the coin, same coin. I'm French by heritage, so that definitely, I don't know, it's more mature for me in that standing, I guess you could say. But ultimately, it all means death. I have a very intimate connection with death, especially now more than ever.
Yeah, so you'd say like you're evolving.
Yes, individuating. Taking both the masculine and feminine sides of myself and kind of bringing them together in an artistic fashion. That's what my new album is going to be about. It's been in the works for about 2 years now.
I definitely have some questions about the album you're referring to. We could talk about that a little bit later if you like, or if you want to talk about it now. We can talk about it now.
No rush. No rush. Death is slow and cold.
So I want to dive a little deep into your history. Do you want to tell me about Wendigo?
Oh God, that was I was probably 15, 16 years old. I was like proto Mictain. I don't know. I just liked the logo that I made. I was just making metal logos out of words, cryptids and stuff. And I liked that one. I made one demo and quickly changed it to Mictain. When I revamped the logo, I used the similar shape and, the Mictain logo is what it is. There's a few of them now, but ultimately they have the same shape, and that comes from the Wendigo logo. Very, very shitty demo. I did not know how to play guitar. I barely knew how to play drums. I knew how to play piano, but there's none of that in that record. It's only recently that I started putting that in there. Sorry, I'm on my porch.
No, you're good. You're
I don't
good.
know. I don't know if you can hear that dog barking, but
How about Craniectomy? Am I saying that right?
yeah. So that's a solo slam project that I did forever ago. I had 2 demos, 2 songs, so 4 songs total. There's 2 logos. One of them arguably is my best slam logo. A lot of people have said when they look through my portfolio that they really like that logo. I like the original one better because it's less symmetrical and more like grindy. Fit the sound of the music more. It was very like just low tuned gore. It sounded like a genophobic perversion, but not as good. Not nearly as good. I don't know if you're familiar with them. It's a side project of Wretched Inferno, solo project.
Quick plug, shout out Genophobic Perversion.
Yeah, big shout out for them. It took forever to make them tapes, and my L. Sorry, everybody who ordered those tapes and is finally getting them. I was homeless for a little bit, and that's why I didn't get those tapes out. But now I'm not homeless, and I live in a beautiful place, so I have the resources and ability to actually make that shit happen. You know,
Definitely blessed. It's not easy finding a place.
Yeah, it's it was a miracle.
How about Dishonorable?
Oh God. How do you even find that? Is that on the Upside page somewhere?
I don't remember if it's on the Upside page somewhere. I found it somewhere. It was probably on like your actual
Wikipedia or
YouTube.
something.
Your actual YouTube, like Mark Verden Jr.
Oh yeah. You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Dishonorable was like one of many like there's a million of those projects. You already named 3, but they're like little startup projects. You know, we didn't have a band name yet. We didn't know what we were doing. It was just me. It's essentially Path. But like it was essentially Path, and it was like the come up of those styles. You know, we had all these different styles that we were trying to draw from, and then eventually they became Path. You know, Dishonorable was kind of more like in the hardcore, 8-string down tuning style, whereas Craniectomy was more like just slam, gore, noise stuff, and Wendigo was like the black metal, and then they all came together as like Path and Mictain. You know, the solo stuff went to Mictain, and the stuff that I worked on with Caleb and Taylor turned into Path, and that was kind of like the birth of Path. And that obviously, you know, went into, you know, Upside, because we didn't have anything to release Path on. Nobody cared about us. We were some underground metal band, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. We were also assholes back then. We were like little shitheads, and we started internet beef all the time. Just offending people with memes on the internet as the band page. And it's not like we were doing anything crazy raunchy or anything. We were just, coming at other bands for no reason. And people who
Right.
talk shit, we would make memes about them. And it was
There,
just, nobody cared. Nobody cared, but it was fun. And we were teenagers, So that was Path.
yeah. When I was doing a lot of research for like the history of Upside thing I was doing, there was only one notable thing I ever saw with beef, and it was like something I can't remember. I have to look at my notes, but it was something regarding crowd killing, and
Oh
I
yeah.
can't remember which account made the post, but said something, we don't condone crowd killing, and someone wrote in the comments something. Then you guys had went off on that person, but that was the only thing I had ever seen beef regarding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we were very anti-crowd killing. I mean, we kind of still are. You can't
No, I don't
really
fuck with that.
avoid it anymore post-COVID with this big hardcore scene coming back, It's impossible to avoid crowd killing, but I feel like everybody knows that there's a time and place for it. There's the right riff for a crowd kill, there's the right riff for a two-step. And it's kind of just like general knowledge. And if you don't, you're probably going to get hit yourself. But I don't know.
Right.
I don't really condone violence unless it's like deserved or there's no other like option. I really don't condone violence.
Yeah. So more or less not of the
I
show. We're all
used to
there to
though.
have fun.
I used to sing about Nazis and killing Nazis and stuff. I try not to sing about violence anymore though.
Yeah, that's the part of evolving and maturing.
Exactly.
I do have a question in here later, but it's about like lost, altered, kind of like media stuff. But like you say, how Dishonorable became Path. We'll
It was
start
like
off with Path.
dishonorable.
I wanted to start off with Path because I thought when I was doing research, it was really hard to like find a starting point. But like I feel like the first place I could start off was with Path. Path like was
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah, that was the first one. Because there was our first demo, which was called Pendulum, and it was terrible. Really bad. It was one song. And we were gonna do like a CD or a tape that had that and Wither on it. So Wither was our second song.
What was
And
the first song called?
Pendulum. It was called Pendulum. And you'll never find that anywhere. It never got released.
Nope.
Or it might have. You might be able to find it somewhere. Like a video of us playing it or something at like 15 years old. But it was really Wither that started everything because we put out like this demo version that I recorded on my phone, and I couldn't get us on like any labels with that demo, the two songs. Nobody liked it, so I was like, because it was terrible, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own label. We'll release it on our little underground label. And Upside had already been an idea for me, like as a brand. I wanted to make skateboards and clothes and shit, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna add the underground and make it a record label. And I did that. And so Wither came out on Upside Underground on YouTube. It's like that red album cover, threw it together in Photoshop. I didn't make that logo though. That logo was made by this guy named Jorge. He's cool. He made our album cover too for the album that's not released.
Yeah, I have a question about that one too later. Yeah. Wait, maybe it's not Path. It might. I think it's Harvest. I'm actually thinking of.
Yeah, so but Path became Harvest a lot later. So like we wrote Cancer, and then uh, uh Cancer was like too different from Wither, that we were like, maybe we should. I had already been making logo after logo in math class. Like, I didn't do my work, I just made logos. And I made the Harvest Manipulation logo because I liked the word. And we were like, let's make it a separate project, like a side project. And so we made Cancer a Harvest song, and we made Wither a Path song. And then we kind of made Karova a Path song. So Path had this like slam sound, beat down slam sound, and Harvest had more of a grindy deathcore sound. And we also made Altar of Maggots, and then we released that as the promo, those 4 songs, as a Path and Harvest split promo in 2018. We played our first show at Remedy Music, the old Remedy Music in Tannic. Nobody remembers that. Some people remember it, but it's rare.
I took that down in my notes. What that yeah, that's definitely in my notes. I didn't know if that was your first ever performance though.
It was. That was our first performance, like, to a crowd. We did do one private performance.
It was
because I totally skipped over Dajjal, right? So right after we wrote all 4 songs, Caleb and I, around the same time that we were writing those songs, Caleb and I we would practice every day after school, right? And if Taylor couldn't make it to practice, Caleb and I, we started making black metal, because my dad had moved to Hawaii but left all his records, and I was going through his records trying to find metal ones, and I found Emperor, Anthems to the Welkin at Dusk. And I was like, holy fuck, Caleb, we have to listen to this right now. Look at what this looks like. And he looked at it. It was a picture disc, and it had like a clear sleeve, so he used the album covers on the disc, and on the back he got like this weird other art that's like sick with all of them on it. And fuck, man, we listened to that shit, and the loss and curse of reverence, like, we both heard that song and we're like, we need to make black metal. This shit is fucking awesome. And he hated making black metal at first. I was like, just think about it more like thrash metal. And so we wrote the first Dajjal song, which was originally called Carrion, but
okay.
we changed it to self-titled. And I wrote a curse to go over that. But before we wrote that song, we did a jam, and we recorded the jam, and that was the first physical release that I ever did. It was the second Upside release, the first physical release. It was Dajjal Mortem.
Mortem, yep.
Yep. And we did another one of those like the next week or something, and that one was I can't remember the name of it. It had an orange logo on the top and like a picture of a fire or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like we just copied the platform and redid it, just jammed. And then the third week that we did Dajjal, we wrote the Dajjal song, and we wrote Voidous Eclipse, and everything just kind of came after that, you know. Fuck, man, I'm kind of just going off.
No, that's cool.
I'm not even like waiting for you to ask the questions.
Yeah, no, you are.
Uh,
You're like beating me to it because I was definitely gonna talk about Dajjal next. I thought I didn't know that. So Path is so you'll never see Path on like playing a show. It'll just be always be
yeah,
Harvest now.
yeah. Well, yeah, you're never gonna see Path play a show.
It'll always just be
Never
Harvest,
again.
but you'll be playing
It'll always
Path
be
songs at
Harvest.
Harvest.
Maybe. I mean, there's only like 3 Path songs in general.
And
Uh,
whatever doesn't even matter what.
all the other songs that we have written together, the 3 of us, just turned into Harvest. So like Path was just Harvest with me and Taylor switched. You know, he would be playing drums and I would be singing. That's all it ever was. And it's like I don't know why we named it 2 separate bands. But I think we chose Harvest because Path had so much internet beef already. We were kind of blacklisted. So we were like, fuck it, we'll do Harvest live.
Oh shit, that's cool though.
Yeah. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah, a little goofy. How about Maggotaltar?
So you know how Dajjal was like started because Taylor didn't come to practice one day and we were like, fuck it, let's just jam some black metal. It was Caleb that didn't come to practice that day. And it was just me and Taylor. And you know, Dajjal actually started because Taylor was doing football and couldn't come to a bunch of practices. And I think Maggotaltar started because Caleb got grounded or something. Or no, Caleb never got grounded. I think he just couldn't come to some practice or whatever. And anyways, me and Taylor made I did guitars, Taylor did drums and noise. And sometimes I would scream, sometimes he would scream. That was kind of just like a goofy, like fun side project, mostly memes and, you know, just us goofing around. Some of the songs came out pretty good though.
100%.
I really liked Necrotic Schizophrenia. Of all that stuff.
That's probably my favorite song from all of the projects, like Path, Harvest, Dajjal, Maggotaltar. That's probably my favorite song out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah, I like it better than Wither. I like it better than Cancer.
Necrotic Schizophrenia by Maggotaltar?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just wish it didn't fucking kill my speakers every time I like put it on at first.
Yeah, that song is like sounds like static.
It starts out like that, and then it sounds like that.
It sounds like you have the gain all the way up on your guitar amp, because that's all that is. I just wanted the most crunchiest fucking cutting through tone.
Yeah, it goes in and out.
Yeah, I have to convince Mork Verden not to make his guitars sound like that so I can record them. He loves that sound too. I mean, not that I don't love it. It's just tough to record.
Right.
Everything's maxed out.
Yeah, everything's clipping.
There's a time and place for it though. I love the Mork Verden demos. Like he sent me a tape, or he gave it to me. It was like 2 tapes. One of them was dungeon synth noise stuff like called Stardust, and the other one was the Mork Verden tape that he took on a fucking 1-track tape recorder. And I was like, and it looked like his handwriting on a Maxwell tape and no cover art. I was just like, this is the fucking sickest thing anybody's ever given me. And I immediately, yeah, shout out. I had already listened to some of his like SoundCloud demos because he sent them to me on email. He was like, hey, let me know what you think of this. And I was like, word, did you do this all yourself? He said, yeah. And I was like, damn, this is really good. It was Eternal Sleep, I think. And it was like really hard to tell what was happening because it was so like piercing through, but it sounded just like my early shit. And it sounded like, it reminded me of Dajjal, like the early Dajjal stuff. And then when he gave me the tapes, I was like, all right, I have to make this kid's record. And then I found out how young he was. Because he was in like a 18 plus or 21 plus show when he gave me the tapes. So I didn't even question how old he was. But then he came into the studio with his mom. He's like, oh yeah, I'm 15, I'm 16. I'm like, what the fuck? I wish someone gave me that type of opportunity when I was that age.
That's why I can never fathom that between Austin and Nolan being so young when they started. Like when I
Yeah,
was their age, I was only listening to fucking Metallica and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right. I
And
was
they're
listening
writing
to
fucking
fucking Suicide Silence
right.
and I mean Cannibal Corpse and like all the death metal, deathcore shit. But
Right.
I couldn't play guitar like they could. Are you kidding me? I couldn't play any instrument the way they could at their age.
Yeah, I was a very mediocre guitar player at that age. I wasn't playing as well as they were and are,
Yeah,
you know.
they're fucking geniuses. I don't know. I don't know what to say about them. It's like I could talk about those boys for hours.
They're very talented prodigies.
Yep, that's for sure.
Um,
Sometimes me
actually,
and Logan will be like telling someone about their bands, and it's like Logan, he can't believe how good they are either. I don't know. Both bands are just fucking genius. So young,
absolutely.
so ahead of the curve. It's like
Right.
I
Like I
know
said, I
people that
can't
are
wrap my
start
head
getting in
around
their
it.
first bands at 30 years old. You know what I mean? I'm not even that old yet.
Yeah, no, I can't even fathom it. But I also have a note in here too, which uh Mork Verden had to have took an inspiration from, or maybe this came from something else that I'm unaware of. From the Dajjal Instagram page on October 24th, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
There's a post that says, "Eternal damnation of infinite beings, purgatorial void passes through me, I become death."
Okay, so that's crazy that you found that. I actually wrote the lyrics for Cold Moon in the studio.
No shit.
He had some words, I had some words, and we kind of like put them together. Because it had a different name, or maybe it had the same name and it was like
The Cold Moon.
I don't know. He didn't like the lyrics when we were in the studio, and he was like, "Mark, do you have anything that you haven't used before?" I can't believe you found that because those lyrics never got used for Dajjal. That's 2017, you said?
Yeah, October 24th, 2017. That was a post.
Okay,
It was
that's wild.
new says new single, also new merch designs coming soon.
Yeah, and we never even made the merch. Never made Dajjal merch ever.
You
The
hear that?
only
So
thing
if
you
you
can
have
get now
Dajjal
is
merch, if you have Dajjal merch, it's fucking fake.
actually there was Dajjal hats. There was Dajjal hats and
There
Dajjal
was. Yep.
patches, but they were hand
Eclipse hats.
painted. They weren't like official merch or whatever. They were just like bootlegs.
Yeah, why? I do remember those Voidous Eclipse hats though, the dad hats. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I just took those. I just took those down off of the website because I haven't had those in years, and they were still for sale. Luckily, nobody bought them. I actually had to return a bunch of payments for shirts that I never made from back then. I didn't realize they were still online. So mad people had ordered band shirts that I didn't have in stock. So I returned their money.
Speaking of that, is that the same with the harvest manipulation flags, the Yith flags? Those were never made?
I have one. I gave it to someone.
Because I
but
remember ordering one. I never got it, and I got a refund for it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think. I can't remember. I know I ordered one, and it was like a gift or something, and I was like really excited to release more of them. And I think you were the only other person that bought it. So, yeah. So I refunded your money.
Yeah, well, if
because
you ever make them,
I didn't make more of them. Another thing about that, the reason I took them down and didn't make more, is because there's not a typo, but in the art, there's like a fuck up in the art that I didn't want in there. That was kind of a collage of a couple different flash pieces of mine, and I didn't like that, so I wanted to remake it and focus it more on the Yith King himself, so that maybe with our new music we can develop on the idea of the Yith, which is a Lovecraftian thing. We haven't really written about it though. It's just kind of one of our band shirts and our fucking profile picture. It's one of my favorite drawings I ever did. It's just like the Yith with a mask on. That's how I pictured it when I read the story. When I looked it up after, it looks totally different than what I pictured while I was reading the story. But like, I like my version better. Thinking about making those masks, selling those masks like what's that deathcore band?
Slaughter.
Slaughter to Prevail. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sick.
They're pretty.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
They're deathcore.
Yeah, no, they're deathcore. When you're in the mood to listen to deathcore, you can't go wrong with Slaughter.
Oh shit!
I don't really find myself listening to deathcore too often.
Me neither anymore. I used to, back when we started, doing Path and shit. But
yeah, no, not too often anymore these days. On Pat's Instagram page, January 28th, 2018, there's a post about Live in Worcester CDs, physical copies real soon. DM us if you're interested, right? And it's
wait, what were they?
So it was posted on Pat's Instagram page. It was
Pat.
Live in Worcester CDs.
Oh my god!
Copies real soon. Wait, let me just explain this real quick, and then you could like explain this because I'm very curious. Physical copies real soon. DM us if you're interested, and it's basically 6 songs, 2 from each band: Harvest, Path, and Dajjal. Harvest played Toxoplasma Gondii and Cancer. Path played 13, which is Roman numerals XIII, and then Citadel of Impurity. And Dajjal played Empire of Desecration and Kunami. And I've heard none of these songs except for Cancer.
Yeah, so those you can only find on the physicals. A lot of them were improvised. Like you'd get a riff or two, and then the rest in between it would be improvised. Yeah, they were all like just fuck, man. I can't believe you found that. It'd be crazier if you found the CD itself. Those were on Bandcamp at one point. I don't think they still are, but that's some OG shit. That's 2017, like before our first show. that it's funny that it says live because we did play live. It was a live recording of all three bands, but it was in the studio that we practiced at to like a handful of our friends before we like did a real show. We couldn't get a real show back then. We didn't know anybody. We were just teenagers.
Yeah, that's when I was doing it, I'm doing a history of Upside thing, and there's a whole shitload of rare like CDs, tapes, and shit like that. That at the end of the video, I was gonna make a little post that if anyone had any of those rare anythings, to hit me up if they're looking to get rid of them, because I definitely would like to get my hands on them. That's some rare shit.
I know that most people that have those probably won't let go of them because they're like family members, friends, people that also, you know, cherish them. But I just found the first Mortem press made its way back to me from, I don't know, it being passed around the scene or something. It's pretty cool.
No shit.
But I got one of those at the studio. I also found the first Aphasia CD. That it was a split with it that I did with Aphasia. It was a compilation. No, it was a really shitty like 45-minute noise experimental track. We're all kind of like just getting into it, and it was a collaboration with Aphasia, Mictain and Aphasia, and it's got like a high contrast picture of a mixer on it. Blackened, harsh fucking noise, sort of set on the inside, and it had like early renditions of my art on there, like some like old stuff. Really rare shit. I can send you a photo.
Oh yeah, I definitely would like to see that. November 24th, 2018, Harvest played at Ralph's. It got kicked out right after you guys played.
Yeah, we did. It was because we were under 21. You're not supposed to play there if you're under 21, so they kicked us out. And they found out.
Was it supposed to be outside originally?
No, they never do 21 plus, and they're not supposed to. And when they found out we were 18 or whatever, they were like, "Oh, you got to get out of here. You got to go." Not gonna lie though, we kind of snuck in. We didn't tell anyone we were underage.
That's funny, because I remember it's like it's the second encounter of getting kicked out of Ralph's because of being not 21, because that happened in July
with
when
Necrotic
played their first show.
Yeah,
Because Helen and Nolan were both underage. Yeah, which sucked.
Yeah, but can't blame Ralph's. They got a reputation to uphold. I work there now, so I get it.
You just said you work there now?
Yeah.
Oh wow, what do you do there?
I do sound.
Okay.
As often as I can. I love it there. I love that place.
Yeah, it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a great opportunity. Creates more opportunities. Currently going out on my porch again. This time with some water and a notebook and everything. And my bong, freshly cleaned.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day out today.
Yeah, it is. Over here, it's not hot at all.
No, No, it's nice. It's like mid 70s today out here.
Um,
Yeah.
do you
So
want to
where did we
talk?
leave off?
Oh well, we basically left off on well, I'm not exactly sure where we left off at, but the last like note I had before I asked this question was about the live in Worcester, the secret show kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. We did a lot of secret shows.
Yeah, because I remember in my notes, like I didn't know if that one at Remedy was your first show. Because I had it specifically written in my notes when you guys promoted on past Instagram page a flyer for the um live in Worcester show. That was I don't remember. I didn't write down the date, but that was
That's
like
all right. I don't even know if,
December
yeah, it was like
2017.
winter 17. That makes sense. So that wasn't, I wouldn't really consider that a show the way I look at shows now. Back then, it was more like a private, like live performance, and it was really just like friends and us.
Yeah, that was the first note I had of like a quote performance for any of the bands.
Hmm.
And then there's been a few after that. Like the first official one that you told me was at Remedy on in June.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I met Isaac from Marrow, and he's actually in Caregiver now. He's a singer, Caregiver, which is like old school black metal from Worcester. It's pretty awesome.
I just marked that
He
down. I'm
was
gonna
he
actually give
was
them a listen. I haven't heard of them.
yeah, I don't know if they have music out. I'm supposed to record their drums at some point. They
That's
might
cool.
have some demos or something. I don't know. I've seen them live at Ralph's.
I'll try to dig something up.
Yeah.
Try to find something
They're like a
because I love
brand
old
new
school
band.
black metal.
Yeah, so their guitarist is also in Abaroth, which is a older band from Worcester. They've been doing black metal longer than I have. They've been doing black metal longer than I've been like aware about metal as a thing, probably. I don't know. Maybe just like longer than I've been making it. I don't know. Kind of was raised on metal. So unless they're older than me as a band, Abaroth, they're pretty good. Standard like black metal. I mean, it's not what I'm making, but I wouldn't even call some of the shit I make black metal. I'm fucking shadow banned, not shadow banned. I'm blacklisted on Metal Archives along with Crawl. Shout out Crawl. He gets it. We're not metal
How
bands,
come?
apparently. We don't have riffs. Apparently, we don't have riffs. We're just noise.
I'm pretty sure Aphasia is on Metal Archives now.
No,
What is
no,
on
they're
Metal
straight
Archives?
noise. Dajjal, fucking every band I've been in except music. I wasn't in Aphasia, but that's not on there. And
No,
Mictain blacklisted. Like if you go and try to put Mictain
no,
album
I know. I've
into
definitely
Metal Archives, they try to ban you.
they try to ban you.
Yeah, they try to ban you if you do it more than once.
Really, because I've done it before, and it just says that there's no listings. But I'm like,
If you try to submit one, is what I'm saying.
oh,
If you try to create a wiki about Mictain on Metal Archives, they'll fucking ban you. They'll give you one warning first.
that's insane.
Yeah. My
Wow.
original
Well,
account is blocked for that. But I was kind of fighting with them in the chat too. I don't know. Whoever admins me and everything I'm in, probably doesn't like me. It's probably from that shit with Path.
Yeah.
Probably pissed him off on the Path account one day.
I remember
And now I'm like,
I remember what split it was that your name is on, but you can't click on it. It's the split with Till.
oh yeah, because Mictain is not a black metal band, apparently.
Right.
So yeah, you can't click on that. That split with Till. I have alternate cover art for it now.
Oh,
On the
really?
CDs. Yeah. You can get them on the
I saw
site
that.
in the new store.
Yeah. Shout out the new
Yeah,
website.
it's got like it's got these pictures of this picture I took at the studios at night. You know that fucking scary building?
Mm-hmm.
The lights were on in this corridor that the lights are never on. And there was something in the window. So I took a picture of it. And that's the cover art. It looks scary as fuck. And I knew it was a demon when I took the picture, but it kind of looks like a wolf standing up on its hind legs to me, or like a hanging wolf pelt or something in the window. And I totally took a picture of it, and I was waiting for the right moment. And I was thinking today, I was like, this needs new cover art. Like, I don't know. I like my ink works, but I like trying new shit out for the label. That split was weird. That was a lot of fun. I did it with Mason from Aphasia, my side. Mason does all the power electronics.
It's a very sick split.
Yeah, the Till side was like already recorded when I asked them. They were like, "Yep, here's something to work with." I was like, "Okay."
That's cool.
Takes me forever to do splits, man.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that picture because I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's in the window, the last window on the left.
Yeah, it's sick. So that album that hasn't came out for Harvest, I don't know how to pronounce this. For Minis de Inferno Aeternum.
So that album is spelt wrong. That I didn't know Latin back then. I still don't really know Latin. I know it a lot better now. But yeah, so it's Forum Minis Infernae Aeternum, I believe, is the correct Latin, and it's infernal hole of hell, like fiery hell pit. Like it's supposed to be like an opening chasm of hell. And that's the original title of the Harvest album coming out.
You say original title, like there's a new name for it now.
That hasn't been decided. I don't think there will be. But
okay.
Our originally our demo, those songs were the split with Path. It was originally supposed to be like a Path and Harvest split, but we lost. My laptop got fucking brutalized or something, and we lost the whole record after it was pretty much finished, recorded. We were going to send it off for mixing and mastering, and it just didn't happen. So, I mean, we've re-recorded all those songs, and we have more songs coming out, but yeah, this album has been in the works for way too long. It's kind of just like a deathcore slam album with some black metal sprinkled in there. But the other stuff that we're working on, the newer stuff, which may or may not come out first, so it it'll appear as if it's the older stuff, but the older stuff is just taking way longer to finish. The LP, it's a deathcore, death metal, grindcore. I don't even know. It's a death metal album. We'll say that. But we have more like grindy black metal stuff coming out first, even though that's the newer style. Like our set is gonna probably consist of more of the new stuff and like one or two, maybe three of the album songs. Obviously, we're gonna play Cancer and Altar of Maggots. But I'm not supposed to speak on the rest of the stuff. You got to come to the show to find out. August 16th. Come back.
Be there. And I hope everyone.
We've been practicing like once, twice a week. You know, writing new stuff. It's gonna be pummeling, and we're opening. Fucking, Goetia is crazy. They're really heavy. They're like the type of music that we were trying to write when we wrote our album. You know what I mean? It's not out yet. Sorry, you guys can't listen to stuff that some of you have heard fucking 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm babbling now.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, I'm definitely going to be at the show, and I hope everyone watching this video is going to be there as well to see you guys perform. Do you want to talk about the Frozen Massacre series and the history behind it?
Yeah, I would love to. Where should we start?
Well, I guess who came up with the idea to start Frozen Massacre?
That was I think it was me and Jesylin, or me and Logan. Might have just been me. I can't remember. It was so long ago, but it was really like the three of us that, and I guess Harvest too. It's Harvest and BP really planned the first one. And I had some friends in this band called Isolith. They're from Connecticut, which is Frozen Massacre. So like all the other ones are all Massachusetts bands. But this first one had this one band from Connecticut that was really sick. And they sounded like Dark Funeral. They're called Isolith. They might have changed their name again. But yeah, that's where I met Half Mast for the first time. Or it was I think it was Wichita Hangman that might have played. But that's where I met Colin and Bex and Robbie. And Jesylin was in both bands. I think that's the show. There was a handful of shows that were at Beatniks. That place closed right after we were doing those shows. They let us throw those for nothing because they were closing. So we just partied.
Yeah, it was like a fortunate, like right place, right time kind of thing.
Yeah, those were like towards the end of the year, whereas like the first show at Remedy Music, the second show at the Distant Castle with Eaton. Oh God, I fucking love Eaton. And this band called Long Con. Altar of Ash, which was Isaac's band. Not Ice, but Isaac from Caregiver. They were all really good bands. But Frozen Massacre, those were in the summer. Frozen Massacre was at the end of the year. Or the beginning of the next year, following year. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I would have to look back into my notes. I'm pretty sure Frozen Massacre 2019 took place at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, it was pretty small compared to some of the shows that we've been putting on lately. but it was fun, and it was one for the books. It's where everyone met each other the first time in the old scene. After that, we started networking, playing shows at Remedy, the new Remedy, and like Upside, my spot, which we were neighbors at the time. We were like right upstairs, downstairs from each other. So we would have shows at both all the time, and the scene just grew until we got to like Frozen Massacre 2020, which was both upstairs and downstairs for 2 nights. Right. Yeah. So like we had mad bands playing at that time, and they were all from Mass.
Yeah, it's sick. I do remember one of them being two nights and 2 different spots.
Yep. But they were in the same building. They were just different rooms.
Yeah, you could have fooled me. They look like the same exact room.
I was down in the basement, and then night 2 with BP was upstairs. Aphasia played both nights. They weren't supposed to, but they ended up playing at the end of the second night anyways. And that was one of my favorite sets that they've ever played. They hit the fucking room with this like low end wall, almost like an 808 bass, but it was a wall. Just clean for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds at the end of their set. And they just shook everyone's physical bodies down to the like bones. And it's like one of those fucking walls you feel in your soul. And I don't know, they just blew my mind that night. Jesylin blew my mind that night. She played a bunch of times. Fucking BP headlined, and it was just like, it looked like, your average Necrolant show to us, It's not like you're selling out the DCU Center or something, you know what I mean? But it's like a room full of people that love what you're doing. And we were so proud of ourselves. And they were all having so much fun. Nobody got hurt. That was the best part.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely proud of you guys too. You guys definitely worked hard to get to where you were at the time, and then keep building upon that. It's not easy.
No, not at all. It gets real hard after everything gets real good. It gets real dark. People start dying and shit, Friends. Yeah. The world is visceral, suffering everywhere. So it's like important that we keep striving for these like ecstatic moments without causing any harm, just creating. It's beautiful. I'm sorry, I got stoned and I'm staring at the view outside my apartment. It's like, I'm thankful that I'm on your show, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for wanting to be on. I really do appreciate it, for real.
Yeah. Well, this is really
Stepping
cool.
Into the mind of La Mort.
Yeah. You don't want to step in there.
We're at entry level.
Yeah, my music is my solo music lately is a good way to step into it. Very abstract.
Oh yeah.
That's what Mictain kind of became around 2020 when I dropped my record.
Vix'ni-Aldru?
Yeah. That one was that cover art, that painting, supposed to look like my soul or my subconscious, not my soul, but like, you know, that dark side in your of your personality, that shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was still a kid when I painted it. It's like fucking 17. And then it's the first one that I did like that ever. That song Something Blackened is a curse. It's a shadow spell. Second half of that record, the B-side from Something Blackened on, is my first demo, the Mictain self-titled demo. It's just demo 2018, I think.
Yeah, I think it switched names a few times.
Hmm?
I think it switched names a few times when I was doing research.
Yeah,
I think when
yeah,
you finally,
it's all the same demo.
I thought
But
it was the Something Blackened tape.
yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. And the original versions of those are fucking cursed. I swear to God, those tapes are fucking cursed. And I got rid of all of them to people that wanted them. And I guarantee none of those people wanted them after. They probably gave them away. Most people can't even listen to that tape, bro. Like, who's got a tape player?
Right.
But the version on the original copy of the tapes is not the version that's on the album, like the rest of the songs. The original version, I have a demo of it, but not the one that is on those tapes. I burnt them to the master tape, right? The master tape had it. And right after I burnt the master tape, I lost my computer that had the whole Harvest album on it. And I lost the Something Blackened recording after it was finally finished. But I had it on that master tape, and I duplicated tapes and I sold them. And I don't think I have the original. If I do, it's hiding. But the other two songs on that translate to Blood Scriptures and Night, or I think it's Night, or some other language that says night. I can't remember, but night with an N, like nighttime. And those come from a dark session as well. Those the B side of that record's really dark. Last song translates to death from Relay, and I know it's goofy. Fucking Lovecraft. Yeah, that record is garbage to me. I think it sounds awful. I wish I knew how to mix and master when I made it. But I'm not going to remaster it unless it's like maybe at the 10-year mark I'll remaster it or something. I don't know. I have no drive to do that. I got the vinyls for sale though.
I'm gonna cop one of those. Yeah, but that's cool. I don't think it sounds horrible. I love that album, to be honest.
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people like it. Not a lot of people, but you know, the people that do like it, I'm surprised they like it.
It's definitely my favorite Mictain release.
Why is that? What about it?
Um, No, I mean it's more like a. I like the songs a lot on it. I like really like the songs. I could listen to them. Like I can listen to that album on repeat and not skip a
Yeah.
single song. But it's like it. I don't know how you say it. It's like when I discovered it, it was like it like opened my eyes. It was like I never heard nothing really like that before. Like especially with like the new kind of ears I had on, because I had listened to like black metal previously, but back when I
Mm.
had first like gotten into black metal, I was actually starting to like accept the sound, like of how it like sounds like, I guess whatever, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I
That
never really heard
raw,
anything that sounded like that, especially
that
the like the
raw.
title track. Yeah,
There's no bass on that record. There's just harsh noise for the low end, which I hate about it. That's why I don't like it. I am a bassist before I'm a guitarist by far. Maybe if someone were to learn it on bass, I'd remaster it. Maybe at the 5-year mark, but until I honestly wanted, like, I don't have like the stems and shit. You know what I mean? Which sucks. I'd have to like crack open my old broken hard like computer and get the hard drive out or some shit. And that thing's a fucking brick.
yeah, no, definitely. That's hands down. It's got to be my favorite album. Like the title track, for instance. When I heard that
I was
it
really
was my
proud
favorite
of that
song for the
song.
longest time. The title track,
I
right?
recorded I recorded all 3 songs like as one song.
You can definitely hear how it flows. There's like it all flows as one song.
The it's mainly improvised too, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was practicing my Hirajoshi mode all the time. And it's like I think it's like harmonic minor. But I don't know. I just was shredding that in the song. It's like E minor. And I was working at Guitar Center, so I was just always playing guitar. And that's kind of how I made that album. But I had the drum track recorded for fucking ages. And I was like, I'm going to write music to this. And instead, I just kind of was in, I don't know, I was just learning scales. And
Yeah, if
I
I'm not
just one day went into the studio and just did it. I didn't really think about structure or anything. I just put on the drum track full volume and then DI'd it. It's not even actually, I didn't DI that. I don't think I did. I might have DI'd that through a mixer, like played the guitar like it's a noise, like through a mixer and pedals and shit. But I didn't really. I don't know. That fucking session was weird. I just kind of showed up and did it all off top in one take. And then recorded harsh noise over it and then recorded the vocals over it. Something Blackened, though, was its own session. That one took me way longer. That's why it sounds like totally different than every other song on that record. It was like the first 3 tracks are really Vix'ni-Aldru. And then the last, what is it, 4 tracks are the Something Blackened demo.
yeah, so I gotta
New Frozen Massacre is gonna be everyone on the label. It's Where Does the Cold Take You. They're not on the label, but I'm friends with them, and they're from Massachusetts. So, Where Does the Cold Take You? Mork Verden, Harvest Manipulation, Beneath Purgatory, Music and Aphasia. Maybe one more. That's the lineup.
I didn't hear Necrotic.
And Necrolent. I can't forget Necrolent. I thought I said Necrolent.
I was waiting for that one. That's
I
cool.
don't know.
I
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't leave Necrolent out of that one. I just don't know where I'm gonna put them. Because I know wherever they are in the show, there's gonna be mad people at that part of the show. And it's like, do I want them to play the headliner of the matinee so everyone shows up for the early bands? Or do I want to put them at the end of the night? But if I do it at the end of the night, everyone's not going to show up until fucking 10 o'clock at night. And then it's not a fest. So, but that goes for every single one of the bands on this bill. They're all headlining acts for Frozen Massacre. I mean, I don't know.
Stacked.
Honestly, the stack is stack, and it's gonna stay that way. It's Frozen Massacre, man. It's the fucking. Oh, there's probably gonna be respective noise acts in between in the small room. You know, I don't know how it's gonna work yet, but it's gonna be a night, one hell of a night.
And what was the date for it? It said January 11th or something?
November 11th.
November 11th, yep.
At the Firehouse.
Okay. Firehouse, sick.
Yeah. I don't know how early it's going to start yet. I also don't know if it's going to be 2 days or not. I don't think it's going to be 2 days. It doesn't have to be 2 days. I think it's a good 1 day thing. Like, fucking have Harvest play at the end of the matinee or something, so they can go home, go to bed early like they like to do. Old men. They're not really old men, but they are up at 6 a.m. and in bed at 8 o'clock. Logan's a teacher. Fucking love Logan. Beneath Purgatory. Shout out Beneath Purgatory. Oh, I fucking love that band. So, Jesylin, Beneath Purgatory is such a huge part. Do you have a question about them?
About Beneath?
Yeah.
Well, when I was interviewing them, they said that the EP that got them signed to Upside was Eagle Collapse.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
Did Logan send it to you, or did you like discover it on your own?
Jesylin. It was Jesylin. I was already friends with Jesylin. And she was like, yo, I have a black metal band now. I was like, word? And we played together, and it was sick. And they sent me Ego Collapse, and I made CDs. And they dropped it online. DistroKid. Just like everybody does now. It's crazy because it's like, I don't really operate like a record label. It's not really like a business. It's what's weird about Upside. It's kind of like a group of people that just work well together.
A collective. Like a collective.
Yeah. Yeah, a music collective and art. I want to make a zine.
Definitely art. I was going to talk about that too. What's up with the Upside magazine?
The scribes are
That's been in the
toiling.
works for a while.
I
Yeah,
love Hung though. I love Hung. Everybody in Hung has been super nice to me and really, you know, they play the music really well. I love those songs.
oh, me too.
Yeah.
I got to see them perform one time at I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was the PNI Club, but I don't remember.
Yeah, they're very fun. They're great people too, Hung.
There was the Halloween show you guys played as Dajjal. I'm not sure if it was Harvest 2, but it was definitely Dajjal, I think. It was
Yeah,
on
yeah, it
Halloween in
was Dajjal.
2020.
Yeah, that was the first show back from COVID.
That was at Sharkside?
No. We did play Dajjal at Sharkside a couple times, but the first show back in 2020 at Lynch Skate Park.
It was at a skate park.
Yeah, there were some physical altercations at that show. Cops came. We we don't talk about it, but the Dajjal set was sick. We played Blood Wolf Moon for the first time to an audience.
Yeah, there's clips of that too on Instagram. And yeah, I was gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
I remember here. I don't remember it. I don't remember the exact details because it's not like on the. Obviously, it's not on the internet. But I remember hearing that it got shut down early for something. Police showed up. There was supposed to be like a trick over the cop car.
Yeah, the guy with the cop car never showed up with the cop car. He bought it like a car that was like broken down and it looked like a cop car. And it had like the fake thing on the top, the lights. They didn't work. It was just like one of those decommissioned ones. But it was like a piece of shit and it couldn't drive, so he just never showed up. And he's the one that funded the whole thing. And some creeps showed up too. Some band played. They weren't even supposed to play. They just showed up with their shit and were like someone who fucking skates there was like, yeah, I know them. They played here before. So we let them play, but they were a bunch of fucking creeps. Yeah. Fuck that band. I can't even remember what they were called.
Fuck them. Don't even gotta name them.
Yeah, one of them got real drunk and started a fight or something. There was he was being a creep to some kid or something and got in a fight.
This is
Can't remember the
also
name
on.
of that band.
Yeah, fuck that band. This is unfortunately the same day that rapper MF Doom passed away.
Was it
Same night.
really?
Yeah.
I was pretty upset about that.
Yeah, and
I grieved for a long time when that happened. I was like, no more MF Doom. You mean to tell me I will never see him live? And I was sad.
yeah, it was very
I
unexpected.
bought one of his records on CD and played it on repeat for like a whole month.
Yeah, a long time ago. You were actually the one who put me onto MF Doom. I'm pretty sure it was the Doomsday album.
Really?
Yeah, and I just like listened
Was
to
it
it
that
ever
same
since.
CD?
I'm pretty sure
Because
it
I
was the
gave that
Doomsday
CD
album.
to somebody.
No, I never got a CD of MF.
I gave
But
that CD
definitely,
to somebody. I think it was Talus.
yeah, that was I
Yeah.
brought that up because I know MF Doom was very influential for you. Do you want to talk about Atlas Obscene?
Mm. That was a weird thing I did, honestly. It's pretty awkward. I have a whole like Atlas Obscene tape that's like jazz stuff that I never put out because I thought it sounded too much like King Cruel, but like not in a tasteful way. Just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe it'll come out. I need someone else to produce it though. I can't do it right. I have mad like indie jazz recordings that I was going to release as Atlas Obscene and take that one rap song down, but there's one song with Talus that never came out yet. It's technically not finished. That's why it hasn't come out. That one's pretty good though. It's like a jazz rap song. But yeah, Atlas is like really kind of not my thing. Doesn't serve me the way music does, for example, or Harvest.
Yeah, it was just something you like just tried out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I went to college and I was in a jazz band in college. So I was that was me experimenting with recording the type of material I was working with at school. And it wasn't very good, but maybe it'll see the light of day one time. I need more time in order to work on something like that.
Yeah.
I need to make time for it, rather. Maybe after I'm done Mictain. After I'm done La Mort.
Yeah, so
that's gonna be the last Mictain record.
Is it gonna be the last Mictain record? Oh,
maybe
okay.
Maybe self-titled. I might do one after it. It'll be a self-titled, but I think the self-titled would be like a compilation album.
On December 31st, 2021, the last day of the year, you released The Maw.
I love that song. That's my favorite Mictain song.
Really?
I love that. My guitar is in tune. The bass lick is bouncy and sexy. It's a sexy black metal song.
Yeah.
And it's not a DSBM song. I just love when I have bass that bounces like that. Yeah, sorry. The bass on that record is I mean that recording, that's just a one-off recording session. It's not going on any albums or anything, but I love the bass. That's why it's my favorite.
There was a post, or maybe it was on the Bandcamp description. It said it was a sneak peek into Amud Seba Part 2, the sequel to the first album. You scrapped that?
It was going to be a part of it.
Oh, okay.
It was going to, but it doesn't have to be. I realized, it's kind of just like in that world, So the Amud Seba is a short story I've been working on, and I have one to go with the vinyls for Marchosias Howls when I release those, with an alternate cover art that I've been working on. I've done a few drafts of it so far, but that one's going to be alongside. Honestly, I might just release it with. I really like this one that I have up on the website right now. I like the look of it. you know. Yeah, Marchosias is going to have a short story with. I already have it written. It's not out yet though. It's going to be in the vinyls, so you can read it if you buy the vinyl. But Almut Seba is a story that's got. It's kind of more like. It's not a novella. It's not long enough. It could end up being long enough, but I don't think I'm gonna. I haven't finished it yet, and that's why part 2 hasn't come out yet. But there's a story about a goddess in the form of a cephalopod. The names of the songs you can translate to English in Relayan to the names of the chapters. First, I think it's 4 chapters. Yeah, part 2, I am working on that. That's gonna come out before my record. It's not. It's like halfway done.
My next note here was you did an interview with I don't know how to pronounce it, Naglfar. Shout out Naglfar.
Oh yeah, Naglfar Zine, right?
Yeah, you did an interview, and at the end it said your new album was set to drop November 1st, and it was called Tuer Un Roi, which translates to kill a king.
Yeah, that's not the name of it anymore.
Switched.
Yeah, I also changed a bunch of shit around in the album. And it's especially since my dad died, it's been a different narrative. Same narrative, different order, and I don't know. It's that one is a play. That one's not a short story like Marchosias is, or like Amut Seba is. It's a play, and I hopefully I can get the whole play live with the people on the album when it drops.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, but there's a lot of collabs, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be expensive. But I think I can sell out a theater. I'm ambitious enough. But that's like magnum opus for Mictain.
Yeah, that's sick.
I've got a handful of things coming out before that. Like I would say about part 2, for example. That one's next. Up next, I got to finish the story too, but maybe I'll just put the story in the vinyls and wait to drop vinyl. I don't fucking know. Kind of just been getting the music record together for now. And the Necrotic record. I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah. Well, we know the Necrotic record's in the works, but you said the music record, like there's going to be another music record coming.
Oh yeah.
I know that you guys have been playing new songs, and I unfortunately haven't been able to go to a music show since the last one I've been to.
It's okay. We're still getting them together. They're super new. Like that then one of them's called Providence. That one we've had for a bit. But the other one doesn't really have a name. We call it New One. And it's sorry, my earrings keep hitting my AirPod. But That one is almost like a Scribes song. And we wrote it like 2 weeks before we went on that little run where we have it on video now at the Meat Locker TV. Fucking shout them out. Big hard,
Shout out
big
Meat Locker.
hard heart. The big heart to the Meat Locker. I love the Meat Locker. And
That was the
Meat Locker TV. They fucking love us there, and it's so wholesome. I love the Meat Locker. Shout out Lunar Blood.
Shout out Lunar Blood. That was the Meat Locker is where I first saw music play, and they were playing with Lunar Blood. That was in 2022.
Yeah, they are so good to us. We're married to them. Like the bands are married.
Yes.
Yep, that happened at Ralph's.
Yeah, I do remember that, the flyer for the ceremony. That was amazing.
Something like that. Family.
Yeah, it was like family only or something.
They hook us up. Family. You know, Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Vin Diesel.
Shout out Vin Diesel, for real, my man. Family.
Family.
But dude, that Lunar Blood record is so good.
Oh yeah, I have it on vinyl.
Fucking hard.
Twilight Insurgency.
Ellis has it on vinyl, and I'm so jealous.
You don't have it on vinyl?
I'm jealous. No.
Isn't that still up?
I don't. It's still up.
Like,
I just don't have it on vinyl.
Oh yeah, they have like 4 different like prints of it, like or presses, 4 different presses of like different splatters or whatever it is.
I got a cop one because I'm jealous of Ellis's. He's got one of those cool ones.
Yeah, I think mine is splattered orange, I think.
It's so cool. I want to make records like that for all the bands on Upside one day. I just don't have the plug.
Yeah, it's definitely a very expensive thing.
I don't know anybody that makes them like that. You know, I can make them real cheap. I can make vinyls. They're the black ones, though. You know, you're not getting splatter from the Upside records. I don't know how to do that.
I also have shout out Wretched Inferno. I have their new album on vinyl, Cacophony of Filth, and it's I'm pretty sure it's a completely red disc, a completely red record.
You know, I think actually my manufacturer does do colors now, but not the splatter. I think I can do picture discs too, but that's like a whole different. It's a whole different thing. Yeah. But you know, I fucking love Wretched Inferno.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've been following Wretched Inferno since like right before they released Fester.
Oh wow, yeah, that first record.
I discovered them.
That first record was great. Fester. I had those songs on repeat when they came out.
Oh yeah. I'm sad I never copped anything from that era. I was like in my broke era. I didn't have money for band merch, but they had released like 3 different colors cassettes for that album, and I wanted one so bad.
Yeah. I remember thinking that they needed real drums and I knew they could play it because I seen the videos. They needed that real sound, so I offered for them to come record with me, and they've been loyal to my studio since, and I love that. Homies, you know, Devin, the new guitarist, him and I go back to 2019. He was in Harvest.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, he improved our songs quite a bit. Like Altar of Maggots, he helped us like rework that from what it was, and Cancer. That's why the old versions sound like shit.
When did
Yeah,
Devin
he
join
played
all this?
guitar.
You said 2019?
Yeah, he was in it for a little bit, and we would smoke copious amounts of weed and just practice all night. It was fucking awesome. Love Devin.
Yeah, Devin's in
He's
Matriphagy.
always, yeah, Matriphagy, bro. We played some of our first shows with them. And Anarchy Inc., like our third or fourth show, and like a few more after that. At the Raven, at fucking Uncharted in Lowell, and fucking I can't remember, but that was so long ago, man. Holy shit. And now he's in Wretched Inferno. And both Wretched Inferno and Trifugy have recorded with me, and it's such a pleasant experience when I record with them. They get in the studio, like, blow me away every time.
Yeah, they're machines.
Will is a fucking machine. All right.
I know.
I cannot like believe that I'm experiencing a moment like that, you know, where I'm in the studio and he's fucking, I just put a hole in his brand new drum head, trying to cut a porthole, and I cracked it all the way open. I was like, oh my God, bro, I'll buy you a new one if we can record it without it right now, and I'll just get the mic where I want it. And he was like, all right. And I got him a new one, but we recorded it with the drum head taken off because I was already late to the session from doing a Bodega 508 thing. And like, oh, dude, the Bodega had put me in a situation where I had to be at one of his events and also be at an Upside recording session at the same time. And I was like, bruh. So I did both. I was in two places at one time. Not at anyone's detriment, you know. We got that first Wretched Inferno Records drum tracks taken that night. And it was a fucking breeze. They get in there and they get out of there like no tomorrow, dude. They're just fucking ready, you know. Great kids. And fucking Devin is a beast.
Yeah, shout out to them. They're definitely fucking sick ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I've only gotten to see them
dude,
live twice.
I just went on a Wretched Inferno rant. I'm sorry. I love those
awesome.
guys.
Yeah, I love them too. It's definitely awesome. But more into chaos music. Or just music now.
The chaos era. We had a chaos era. We didn't have any songs. We just kind of showed up to the show and did the thing, you know. We didn't before the record, we had like no material when we showed up to the shows, except maybe one or two riffs. We had Deicide, and then the rest was improv. And then we did the danger shit. It was just, it was different than it is now. It's way different now.
Yeah, it just started that. It started out with just you and Kate, right?
Yeah, it was a song that was supposed to be on La Mort called Deicide. And I have an original version of the song. It's just me and her. And the two of us are making a sequel to it called Regicide, To Kill a King. And that's going to be on the record instead.
La Mort.
On La Mort, yeah.
Okay.
But that's just me and Kate.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's not going to be new music. It's not going to sound like Deicide. I mean, maybe a little bit. It kind of does. We started the song, but I don't know.
When did you guys like start the idea to like form a project?
Well, after Ellis had joined, he was like, why don't we just start calling ourselves Chaos Music? Because it was supposed to be the Chaos Music Tour, and it was going to be the original drop date of the record, and it was supposed to be an EP. It's called Chaos Music by Mictain and Friends. And it's gotten like twice as long since, and some songs were taken out, like Caesar was on that, which is coming out soon. It was on an older version of it is on my Black Metal Rainbows submission, but that one's going to come out as like a announcement for the record, but it's going to be remastered and shit. And then yeah, it's all right. Fucking Ellis, man, he's a genius with the logic. He's like, bro, let's just start calling ourselves Chaos Music. I was like, okay. And I was like, well, fuck that for a title then. I'm not going to call my record our band. And I changed the name of the record. And I started putting titles in French and started whispering in French in the backgrounds of the record. And also Latin and some English. But it's meant to be disorienting. But when it came to music, I don't know, we just started calling ourselves that. And then after Colin cut his hand open and joined the band, which is like the alternate cover art for our for the Chaos EP, we decided to call the record Chaos and call ourselves Music. And we started practicing magic more behind the scenes, but also a little bit on stage. Or I like it better when we're on the floor with everybody because it's more intense that way. Like our song Providence, which is coming out, working title as well, the record. In Providence. The song is called Providence because of what the word Providence means, but our first show in Providence, we had a like profound experience with Pluto, and sent us into the Negredo phase of alchemy, I guess you could say. And then we've been working on a record since that moment. To us, we're working on a big record that's like may or may not be the only music LP, you know, before we all go on to other bands. I don't know. It's going to be a big like a big record. So it's in the works, but that's like top priority for me. That and my solo record, and Amot Seba. Like even Amot Seba is more like something that I can do on my own. I could probably get it done by next month, you know, if I really had the ambition. Yeah, that band is just magnificent. I know it's my own band, and it's corny to be saying that about my own band, but like mainly when I say that, I'm talking about like being in the band is magnificent. Like working with these people, working with Kate, working with Max and Colin and Ellis. Like it's just such it's different than every other band I've been in. The only band I could compare it to is being in a band with Harvest, which, you know, was profound at the beginning. It was my discovery of music. And like music to me is like a discovery of sound and like a different type of energy with music. Like we're all really breaking out of our comfort zones with this record, this band. None of us have made music like it before, you know. The closest thing I could compare music like Chaos to is my solo music, and it's still nothing like that. I'm really proud of that band. Harvest is my baby. Harvest is my like band that I've been working on for fucking forever, you know. That's like those are some of my favorite songs that I've made. And music is like my baby, you know. It's the newest, weirdest thing for me, breaking out of my shell.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can't speak for them, obviously. I'm just one person, but I love being in that band. Like all of them are amazing to work with. And I don't know if I could make a band like that work with anyone else. It's just so they're so special to me.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know. I like being in a band that is experimental. All my bands are kind of experimental. We've gotten to the music stuff. Yeah.
the next thing I have here is about Necrolent.
Mm-hmm. Love them.
You made the decision to part ways with them.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't out of spite or malice or anything. You know, there's no beef at all. I just I think they're better off without me. You know, they can expand their sounds in a way that suits them more, and I can do the same. You know, we have different aesthetics. I really love their music, and I really love working with them. One of my favorite bands I've ever been in. You know, been in a lot of fucking bands outside of Upside too. Like I've been in a lot. I've worked with a lot of people, and I will continue to work with Necrolin. I can't be in the band. You know, I have to work with them. It works better for me. It works better for them. You know, it's pretty nice knowing them, you know?
Yeah, they're definitely awesome people.
Oh yeah, big time. And they really know how to like make a band work. But you know, it's not I made black metal for a long time. You know, I still make black metal, but it's different style, you know? It's not, Necrolin wasn't my music, you know? Necrolin is Nolan. He started Necrolin. All those first 2 albums were just him writing everything. It was genius, you know? And he asked me to be in the studio to record his first album. I was like, sure, that sounds good. He came with his dad, and the 2 of them just like, he hashed out the whole record in one take and then asked me to do singing because he didn't know how. And I was like, I can teach you how, but I'll also sing on it if you'd like. And he's like, yeah. So I sang on it. And then we did that again the next year, like a year later. And it was great, you know? Mostly like COVID time. So we didn't have to play shows or anything. It was just him and then me singing. But then he put together the live band, and that was like a melting pot of musicians that are just phenomenal. And he put it together so fast. Everyone learned the songs so fast. And, you know, it became what you know Necrolin as today, which is totally different than like what it was when it started. And it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy how good they are at doing what they do. And it's too fast for me, honestly. I'm slowpoke. You know, they play a lot of shows, they make a lot of songs, and you know, I'm not gonna let my slow ass hold them back. So I decided to leave, you know, and they're thriving, let me tell you. They're doing good. And I can't wait for these new songs. Oh my God. They're some of the best ones yet. Easy.
You're telling me I cannot wait for this new Necrolin release. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah. It's gonna be a long time more. They're not done yet.
That's funny. Shout out Bughead. Nolan on the podcast. He said, I want to release it on Spectral Wound or by Spectral Wound.
Oh yeah. He did say that.
That
he
came
did
and gone.
say that, but it did not. It wasn't even recorded by then. They're ambitious. They're very ambitious, and that's good because they're young and they have the drive. You know.
Yeah.
That it's supposed to be a split album, and the other side isn't finished.
Yeah.
I mean, the Necrolin side is just. They just need. Yeah. The Necrolin side is almost done. Needs vocals and stuff, and mastering. 5.5 Rats side is still in the works, so it's going to be a little bit, but it's slow and steady. You know, it's going to be worth it. This record is tight. Both sides are really tight, but it's tough to get musicians together, man. You know, that's why I think it's fucking crazy that Nolan was able to put a band together so fast and so efficiently, because it was, you know, some people go years cycling members of like people that just don't want to learn how to play music, and then Nolan just found the best people at what they do and fucking put it together. It was like, let's make it, let's do it. You know, it's fucking brilliant. Talus, especially. Yeah. And those drums, that fucking recording of Essence, that single version with Talus on drums. Nasty. I mean, Not to say Jax isn't nasty, but you guys don't have access to that yet.
No, we're just greeted to or treated with the live performances that if you go see Necrolint, you'll get to see when they play that song occasionally.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, they do.
Definitely my favorite Necrolint song is Essence. His Nolan's best written, like song written song.
There's a new one that's my favorite now. But yeah, love Necrolint. Love working with them. I'm too busy and too slow to be in that band though. They're fucking hard workers.
The latest release on Upside is it's a secret release. It was Bloom County.
Bloom County, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Anonymous project. It's person who makes it. I obviously have features on it. You know, you can hear there's I'm on parts of it, but that's not me. That's behind that record. It's a good friend of mine though. He's a genius too. He went to Berkeley for a bit, I think. I don't know. He's a music concrete, you know. He plays all the saxophone and does all the production, you know. I can't say anymore. I'm not supposed to.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was like kind of a secret thing. I gave it a listen when it first dropped, and I noticed like the album cover alone kind of like tells like kind of like what the album is kind of like the story is trying to tell. I don't really know.
Yeah,
because it had like a connect the dots kind of thing leading to each like a picture for each track, you know.
Yeah. Sophia Gilbert made the cover art for us. Dude, I can't wait for the next Bloom County.
More Bloom County on the way.
We recorded it recently, but he's working on it.
You dropped a split with Utter Scorn.
Yeah, that was fun. I made him wait mad long for my side though. I was gonna make a grindcore, couple grindcore songs, but they're a little bit more depressive, goth than originally intended. But yeah, his side is really brutal. A weird split, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm supposed to make CDs for that too. Forgot to put them on the website.
I got a cop.
But they're not ready. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a release of skateboards with the album cover on it.
Yeah, there was. I have one.
Yeah, I remember I think you posted it to your story or something, or maybe it was Utter Scorn story. I saw it on one of them, and I was like, it was a gift for your birthday, definitely.
Yep.
And I had to have been Utter Scorn because I swiped up on it and I said, "Oh, I need this. And
did you get one?
He replied back, "They're gonna be up in a week or like 2 weeks or something." And at that point, I was in a not good point. Whatever, I couldn't really afford to buy one. It would have been a dumb
That's
buy.
okay. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, still,
it's crazy that he made those.
I really wanted it.
Sick. That art was so sick. I have that as an art piece. I never skated that board.
Yeah, I really wish I would have gotten it. I don't think I would have skated it either. I really don't think I would have either. Really wanted it, but couldn't afford it at the time. Whatever. My next question, after that was if you had planned to release any more boards through Upside. I know you had the little run of them, 3 different designs.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. I don't plan on doing more of those. Those are pretty limited, yeah.
Word.
Not a lot of people have those.
What would you say that your favorite band or artist is from New England? And when I asked this to Beneath Purgatory, they just listed off a bunch of artists, so feel free to. But if you have a favorite,
Hmm. Aphasia. It's my favorite. It will always be Aphasia. You know, I had heard about noise music before I met them, but when I met them is when I learned all about it. And it's like a huge part of who I am now. And I owe so much of my sound, my aesthetic, and this label in general to Aphasia. Fucking favorite band all time.
shout out to Aphasia.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song to play live from like any one of your projects?
You know, it's either Voidous Eclipse or Deicide. Those are kind of tied.
Those are good songs.
Yeah, in very opposite ways too. Voidous Eclipse is like one of the fastest songs I ever wrote. And then Deicide is like so dumb, simple, and fucking fun and chaotic.
Absolutely.
Dajjal's tight, or Voidous Eclipse is tight and fast as fuck. I love that song, Voidous Eclipse.
Yeah, me too. I tried to learn how to play it one time, but I gave up.
It's hard.
It is.
Sometimes I try to like play along to it. It's hard to sing and play that still. I haven't practiced it, you know.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Caleb and I'll bang it out, jam it out while everyone else is on their way or something.
So what would be the hardest song to play live?
The hardest song to play live is the Harvest song. And for the self-titled for the album, it's like Foraminis Infernis Eternae. We just call it Inferno. Might just call it Inferno from now on.
Oh, that's going to be a part of the live set coming up?
Maybe. That song's hard. Song's really hard to play. Dun, 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 dun.
Little sneak peek.
Hmm?
That's a little sneak peek right there.
That's it's gonna be on the new album.
Can't wait to hear it. Do you have a favorite live show that you had?
You know, the Meat Locker shows are always fucking amazing. Always have a good time. Now that I know everybody there, it's fucking fantastic. The Firehouse shows, some of my favorites. It's hard to pick one favorite. I'd have to say Frozen Massacre 2020 because Jesylin was there and Arsen was there. And I love both of them so much.
Word. In the last interview that you did with Necrolent with Bughead, you started talking about dove a little bit into alchemy and magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it very,
I wasn't
very
trying to go too
fascinating.
deep into it. Yeah, it is a fascinating concept. There's millions of books on it. I recommend Alchemy and Mysticism by Rube. I recommend book 4 by Lester Crowley, Liber ABA. I recommend Carl Jung's Red Book, and Man and His Symbols, Psyche and Symbol, whichever one is the one I have on the shelf. It's a good one. Those are great books about the subjects, at least to begin with. Jung's kind of tough. Sometimes. The Red Book is really good. The Red Book especially.
So, is there any other topics that you want to cover?
Not that I can think of. I mean, we really covered most of the bases, I think.
Yeah, we dove pretty deep.
Yeah, especially early on, like when we were talking about, fucking Dajjal, Path and Harvest. That whole, and Aphasia. I fucking love Aphasia. That era is where they came in. 2018. They started showing me how to make noise, showing Harvest how to make noise. We did that split together. That split. It's so awful for production, but it's such a good record. I wish I had produced it better, because it could have sounded so much better. But I guess it's part of the history now. I did a split album with them as well. That was one of my favorite shows, honestly, was the Kickback, the release show for the Aphasia and Mictain split, La Foresta de Suicidi. It was Maggotaltar opened. Beneath Purgatory played either after them, I think. And then I did a noise set with Aphasia. And in that record, you can hear chains on the Aphasia side, right? And so live, I started the set, and then they came in halfway through mine, and I ended halfway through theirs. And by the end of theirs, Mason was just honestly, we were going at the same time for most of it, but at the end, Mason just starts slamming their mixer with the chain that they were making noise with, and breaks the fucking mixer, and the lights are mostly out, and the noise just makes this big popping sound with the mixer, and then they're just shifting the chains around like that on fucking the noise table. And we had a whole noise set up when we were set up as a venue. We had that table that was just empty, and you could stand on it if you wanted to, but you could also set up your noise gear there. And everything just went out, and everyone was cheering. It was all my favorite people in that room. And everyone went around and said how much they love me and why. And I was like crying and shit. That was the Mictain like debut album, was that split with Aphasia. That was the first album. Other than that was just the Something Blackened demo and the Wendigo stuff. There is one CD that some people have that's an earlier demo, but it's only like 5 of those.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's my favorite show. It took me a while to remember it, but Jesylin was there. I do want to give a huge shout out to Dumpster Dicks. X put out a record full of Jeslin's recordings titled Dumpster Dicks. And it's a really, really beautiful record. I think everybody who made it this far through the podcast, you owe Upside this favor of going and buying that record on Bandcamp, because it's all Jeslin's recordings, and Upside would not be what it is without Jesylin. Shout out X for releasing that record. I love you, and thank you.
I'm definitely gonna purchase that after we get done here. I give it a listen. I didn't even know that was out, that had released.
Yeah, she was the staple of this sound that we have. You know, that lo-fi sound that we had, that is kind of like iconic of the label. It was inspired by her and Electric Skeleton, which was her label with Colin.
It was Electric Skeleton. I remember that.
Fuck. Yeah, rest in peace, Jesylin. I love her so much.
But I mean, yeah, that just about covers it.
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Thank you for all the time we spent. This has definitely been at least, I have to assume, about 2.5 hours.
Damn. That's pretty long.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I really enjoyed our conversations today.
Of course,
I had a lot of fun.
If you need any like photos of weird random demos and shit that I found that I spoke of, let me know. I'll send you pictures so you can use them if you'd like.
Yeah, I would like that. Thank you.
Of course, just let me know whatever you need a picture of. I've got it all archived somewhere.
All right. If that does it, thank you very much, and
of course,
thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.